Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the podcast. This is Big Reptile Talk, the podcast where I bring amazing people in the hobby on. I chat with them, see what they got going on, pick their brains. We learn a little bit and we have a little bit of fun. As always, before we start, make sure you show some love to the podcast sponsors. Shout out to Large Marge Morse, man. That's my brother Paul. He supports me. I support him. Make sure you go hit up his Instagram, tell him I sent you, see what he's got going on. I don't think he got a morph market yet, but he is doing some big things, and he got his own podcast. So make sure you go check that out. Shout out to my brother Heathland Hatchery, man. He supports me, so y'all make sure y'all go hit his Instagram up, hit his morph market up, and just show him some love. He's definitely doing some real nice things in the hobby, and not just that. Sloan Reptiles, man. I think they deserve a lot more recognition than they get. If I'm not mistaken, him and Troy just put on a reptile expo, not I think it's like the All American Plant and Reptile Expo. So shout out to Sloan Reptiles for being a podcast sponsor. I appreciate you guys. And not just that, if you're in the reptile hobby, please, you see the banner, you see what it says. Support USART. They fight for us. We're keeping animals. This is a luxury. Okay? It's not a privilege. They can take this away from us at any time. So support USART. Get a membership. They fighting for us. Much love to the early birds in the chat. This is going to be a fun show. My Animal House, Bomb Project, Suzy Lou, Mike's Monitors, Sean Lewis, World of Wilcox, Banana Fields. Everybody that's showing up, I appreciate you. When we come back, you're not going to miss this. We're going to have Suzy, her first appearance on a podcast from Ship Your Reptiles. Don't go nowhere.
Whoa. Big reptile talk. Yeah, we working. Talk about service. Big reptile talk. When it comes to talking about snakes, yeah, love that we got for them we fake. Yeah, big reptile talk. Let's talk about reptiles. Yeah, big reptile talk. Let's talk about reptiles.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the podcast. We got Miss Suzy in the building. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Excited to have you here, man, because you Chad's right hand. So I've been wanting to talk to you for a long time. So
Sometimes on both hands.
I love that. I love that. Both hands. I love that. Shout out to Chad. Now, before we jump into the podcast, I'm kind of curious, and it's nothing wrong if you don't have any, because a lot of people sometimes they don't want to take animal home. They don't want to take work home with them. But I still got to ask, what is your animal collection looking like? What do you keep at home?
Yeah. So I have two dogs. I used to be a dog trainer. So I have a German Shepherd and I've got a Belgian Malinois. And then behind me, I have my only reptile. He's a super dwarf retic. Yeah. I got him at an auction supporting US Ark and drinking way too much vodka.
So your first and only reptile is a super dwarf retic.
Yeah.
That's a jump. You didn't get a
I jumped in both feet.
You didn't get a ball python. You just jumped right in. I want to retic.
Yep.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah. And then I've got some fish too, because we're also Ship Your Aquatics.
Okay. I love that. We're going to get into that.
Yeah.
So let's time travel. What were you doing before you were at Ship Your Reptiles?
So before I was at Ship Your Reptiles, I worked in telecommunications. I was a senior manager of wholesale markets dealing with $3.5 million a month take or pay deals. So really big corporate stuff, which, was financially wonderful, but otherwise not as fulfilling. And then in 2001, after 9/11 and everything, things got really hard in the market and I got laid off and I got tired of the the corporate industry and I opened my own business. So I had a do-it-yourself dog wash, and I was a dog trainer for about 17 years.
A do-it-yourself dog wash.
Yeah, so it's a storefront that had 3 really beautiful tubs that you'd bring your dog in and you wash your own dog, and I'd have a drying station. And for people that needed dog grooming, I had groomers as well. But I was never a groomer myself. I think you have to be a little crazy to be a groomer. It's really hard work. And so I just did the dog training,
Okay.
and very successful with dog training. But I had to work 24/7, because the dogs would come live with me for 3 weeks and I would do everything with them. And then I would ship them home and then train the owners. So, we always had extra dogs here, and it was a lot.
I
And
love that.
then, yeah,
I love that. Now I gotta interrupt. So
sure.
you got your own business, you're doing your own thing. That's awesome. I love that. Now, how did the Chad link up happen? Because understand, this is not a regular link up. This is a football Hall of Famer, multi-millionaire. So how did you end up running into him, and how did this whole link up happen?
Craigslist.com. Isn't that crazy? I entered an ad on Craigslist for this weird job that seemed interesting. I thought it would be like, this little thing that I would do part-time maybe. And I was like, oh, sounds cool working with animals. And then I found out it was reptiles. And then I had the interview with Chad, and I still didn't know who Chad Brown was. And I was trying, yeah, yeah. So I was trying to impress him because I train dogs for a lot of NHL players, hockey players. And so I was like trying to tell him, yeah, I can work with big names because I trained Adam's Foot's dog and Hey Duke, and throwing names out there like I'm somebody. And then he's like, oh yeah, I know who he is because I played in the NFL for 15 years. And I was like, oh, what's your name?
I love it. I love it. So,
Yeah.
so
And I'm
you
looking at him during the interview and finally, and I'm like, he is pretty huge. Like he's got these giant shoulders, and oh yeah, I guess yeah, he's like a football player sized person. So didn't
okay?
occur to me originally though.
That's funny. So you answer this ad, and you're sitting there. You don't even know who this man is,
No
and then
clue.
you're like, "Wow, I've done all this stuff in the NHL for hockey players. Now I
Yeah.
could potentially be working for an NFL Hall of Famer."
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. That's crazy. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. Now, now I'm gonna put this out there. Why ship your reptiles?
Well, it is my first foray into the reptile world. So, but why stay with Ship Your Reptiles is this. We are the OGs for real. We're the ones that set the standard. We're the ones that figured out the best way to ship reptiles. We're the ones that worked it all out. We're the ones that just recently added UPS. And it took Chad 5 years of talking to UPS to get them to allow us to ship snakes and to ship spiders through their platform. 5 years. So the tenacity of the company is just incredible.
I love that. I love that. That's what it is. If you're not listening, please ship your reptiles. It's the best way. It's the only way. Ship your reptiles. It's the way to do it. Now,
Yep.
got a hot seat question. So everybody's at the office except you. You're not at the office, right? You're running
I
late.
know. Yeah.
Let's say you're on the way to the office. When Suzy walks in the office, this is a hot seat question. What song plays? Like if you were to walk in and a song played, what would the song be when Miss Suzy walks in the office?
Oh gosh. Feeling good.
Feeling
By
good
Nina
about who?
Simone.
Okay.
I love my job. It's silly, but I love my job. So And I don't go in. No, I don't go into the office that often. So it's kind of, I work from home mostly.
Right.
So, when I go in, I get to see all the staff, and it's reach out reptiles bad to the bone.
I love it. I love
That's
it. I love
good. That's good, Garrett.
it. Now,
But yeah, I love seeing everybody. So I'm feeling good.
can I tell you something?
What's that?
Your blue hair, it's become a staple. Now, if Chad was smart, he would make that mandatory like forever. You never can change your hair color, or he will fire you. So why the blue hair? Does Chad love it? Does it get you recognized everywhere?
It's pretty funny because I've been coloring my hair a weird color since I was 18, or probably since I was 17. So, that's 40 years I've been doing this. And, at different levels. Usually it was mostly black with just a little streak of blue, but now it's full on blue. But prior to this, it was pink. Prior to that, it was purple, red. It's been, and I do have a little bit of little pink going in there now because, I realize I've got the nickname of Bluesy from Mike's Monitors. And I'm like, I might change my hair color. So I'm doing it in little baby steps.
No, you can't change the blue. If I was Chad and you changed, I'm like, nuh-uh. Everybody knows. Everybody knows Miss Suzy for the blue hair. It's got to stay.
It's patented. Yeah. Yeah. So it does work really well for me, though. I mean, it's real easy to find me in a crowd and people remember me. And if they don't remember my name, they're like the weirdo with the blue hair, and they know exactly who they're talking about. Unless
I
you go
love
to
it.
Seattle, because in Seattle, everybody has colored hair.
Okay.
Everybody. And I
I love that.
blend in. It's really wild. Yeah.
I love that. Now, you work for a shipping company, and I know you might not necessarily be hands on putting the animals in the box, but I gotta ask anyway. What was like one of your favorite animals that you shipped? One that you've never seen before. It came through the company. You got a chance to hold it, see it up close and personal. You're like, I really like this animal. What was one of your favorite animals that you shipped?
The scorpion-tailed geckos. They're so cute. I hope I'm getting the name right. They're teeny tiny and their little tails curl up and they got these little parrot faces. They're really cute. So
Okay.
if that animal doesn't exist, then I'm making it up. But I think it is a scorpion-tailed gecko. It's
Right now. I love it. I'm gonna have to check that animal out. Now, it's so many aspects to your job. Like you said, you're not in the office. You're in the office. You're at home. You're at a reptile expo. You visiting this person collection. So I gotta ask, what's the favoriteest part of your job? Like that you just like this part of my job. I could do it every day, nonstop.
um well, doing the marketing stuff is really fun. Designing the flyers and t-shirts and stuff like that is super fun for me. But I have to say, going to shows and seeing everybody. I go to shows. I go to so many shows, aquatic shows and reptile shows and flora shows. Um, I just have such a great time. I'm such a people watcher, and getting to know everybody and meet everybody is just really awesome.
I'm gonna tell you something. One day I was in my man cave and I was looking at your Instagram. Every time it's a reptile expo, I see you and Chad there. I said, "Damn, I said they some jet setters." Every time I
Oh
look up,
yeah,
they in this part of the city. They over here. They over here. I said,
I
"They
just got home
every day."
last night. Yeah, I
Yup,
was in Dallas.
jet setters.
Yeah.
How many times? How many times a month you think you on a plane?
Twice.
At least twice,
Three,
two or three.
4 times probably. I do 2 trips because I also travel for fun for myself. Like I went to Vancouver, BC, and I just got back from Vancouver. 4 days later, I went to Dallas, or
Nice.
maybe it was a week. I can't even keep track.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Now,
no, I got back Sunday. Yeah.
now I've had Chad on the podcast before, so I know a little bit about you guys. And you're not just ship your reptiles, you ship your invertebrates, ship your fish, ship your flowers, but not just that. I gotta ask you this, and I want your honest opinion because you know where I'm going with this. I don't know if you do, but I'm gonna ask it anyway because I want to. What was your reaction when you found out you guys would be shipping semen?
Oh, I have ideas. I have so many ideas. I I'm actually working on the logo right now and I'm having fun with it. But I think it's a great idea because I also come from the horse world. So my animals have just gotten smaller because I used to show horses professionally. So I'm really familiar with all of the, farm animals and semen and all that. So we have a guy that works on our staff. His name is Andy, and he's got cattle, and so he really has an inroad there. And we were talking about sponsoring the cattle show that we have here. It's huge, and I want to hire shop girls. The girls that walk around with the straps with shots and sell those little bottles of shots that look like sperm and give those out wearing ship your semen shirts. I mean, people would not forget us. We would
That is
we would
hilarious.
definitely be remembered. So I think it's a great idea.
So Chad wasn't nervous when he approached you with the idea. He just was like, "This is what I want
No.
to do." He wasn't nervous. He just laid like, "This is what I want to do. What do you think about it?"
Yeah. No. I was 100% in.
I love it. I
The
love it.
funniest part is people don't understand when they hear ship your semen. They're like, so why would you do that? Like, I don't understand. And I'd have to say, well, it's horse and dog. And they're like, oh, okay, now I understand.
It's it's smart because you're in a business where you can't just ship one thing. If you have a shipping company, ship everything. Take over the whole shipping industry. I would. If you ship everything, it's so much way. It's so many ways to make money and take it. And if Chad is doing his thing, y'all are taking care of. He's taking care of his.
Yeah.
When you corner the market, it just makes your business better.
Oh yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. And one relates to the other. It's something that needs to stay a certain temperature. It has to go fast. It has to be protected. It makes sense that we would do it.
Right
Yeah.
now, hot seat question:
Okay.
have you ever, and because you're in the office, you're doing your thing, or you're at home, have you ever fibbed to Chad? And what I mean by that is you needed to ship something to somebody, and it might have cost $500 to ship it, and you're like, Chad, it's not that bad. I shipped it; it was 200, and he still ain't found out to this day. Like you fibbed, and he don't know about it.
No, I am brutally honest and it gets me in trouble a lot.
I like that. I like that. I like
Yeah,
that.
I get in trouble a lot because I am just a little too brutally honest. So I should learn how to white lie it.
You're like, we shipping this. It's $1,000. I don't care if you like it or not.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. I love that. I love that. That's funny. Excuse me. Now, hot seat question. Let's say you could ship a celeb something. Who would you like to ship something to? A celebrity.
Oh gosh. I have to think of the celebrity. I would like to ship a guitar to John Doe.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
And Chad's great at creating boxes, I learned, because at this last show, we had to ship out really long pieces of wood, branches that were dried, and we didn't have a box for it. So he'll take a box and tear it apart and rebuild it in the perfect shape. So I am sure he would build a box the shape of a guitar that totally protects that guitar.
Right. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chad, man, doing his thing in the shipping game. Now I gotta ask. You are in customer service. So this
I'm
is
not. Our company is, but
the
I'm not.
company, the
Yeah.
company in general.
Okay.
Company in general. It's
Okay.
a
Gotcha.
customer service based company. So my question to
Gotcha.
you is, and this is a way to I want you to wow us, impress us. Give us a time where you had a customer where it was hard to ship to them, but you figured it out. You went above and beyond and you satisfied this customer. Give me like a problem and how did you fix it?
Well, we have to ship to Alaska in the winter, and that can be really difficult. In fact, it was one of the Tinley shows. There was a customer that wanted to ship to Alaska, and one of his one of his items, he had a pretty large box full of animals, and then he had these little teeny nano geckos, and we're like, oh God, are we really going to ship this little thing to Alaska, and it's is it going to survive? And because it was in a box full of other animals, the temperature of the box was more ambient, better temperature, and of course heat packs and phase packs. So he was very happy. Everything made it. Where we really shine is when something goes awry, though. We had 7 boas that were in a box for like 4 days, and the label got ripped off the box. I was kayaking, and I got a call from Debbie Price, which is Reptiles to You. And she's like, are you guys missing some boas? So I'm like, on the river texting our weekend people when I would have service. And they were like, yeah, those are ours. So then I had to get them rolling and get everybody connected to each other, figure out where they were supposed to go. They got to their destination. They were in that box for like 6 days. They all survived. They were very thirsty. They were very dehydrated, but they all thrived and survived. And I was fortunate to meet the owners of these snakes at Tinley, and I swear they were in tears. They were so happy. So
I love
that's
that.
what I love.
I
Yeah.
love that. See, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you ship your reptiles. Your customer service is top tier. So that's why I say ship your reptiles is the way
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah. I like to
Now,
say that we worry about every little cricket.
I love that. Not just the animals. You're talking about the feeders too.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. I love that. Now, I gotta ask, and if I don't like it, I'm gonna give you a new title. So I'm curious. What's your title at Ship Your Reptiles?
It's a long one. I'm director of marketing, events, and client accounts.
Director of Marketing and Clients Advanced Accounts.
Events and client accounts. Yeah.
See,
So
I
that's
feel like
ridiculously
director
long.
is good, but I feel like Chad should be like the president. You should be like the vice president of accounts or something like.
I would like you to speak with Chad.
And I feel like it should come
As
with a
long as
fat
it comes
bonus.
with a raise.
I like from now on we're gonna call you vice president of reptile deliveries and in customer accounts.
There you go.
I
I'll
don't know.
take it.
I just like the president title more. I don't know why.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I like it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now let's go back and tell me. And this is a way of you kind of giving Chad his kudos a little bit. Let's go back in time. So you met him through the Craigslist ad. He's telling you his vision. How did he lay his vision out to you to where you were like, you know what? I can follow that. I can get with that.
So, 2 things that he told me in my interview. The first, when he was talking about shipping and how in bad weather, like around Christmas time, we put up a banner that says, do not ship. And I was like, because the animals won't survive. And I was like, well, okay, but how do you make money? And he goes, well, we don't. And I was like, but then he's like, yeah, we tell people don't give us your money. And And he goes, it's so much more important that the animals are safe and that they stay alive than it is that I get money. He's like, I mean, he's worth what, 25 million? He's like, I can hold out through the winter. It's more important that the animals are safe. And so that was the number one selling point for me. And then number two was, he said, I just want everybody to work hard and be nice. And it's so trite, but it's so important. Work hard and be nice. Like, it's perfect. And so I went home and I thought about it, and it was obviously going to be more of a job than I thought it was going to be. And I thought about it and I'm like, oh my God, I really want this job. And so I sent him his big long emails thanking him for his time and being like, okay, so now you need to hire me. And Chad at that time, some personal issues came up, so he put me on hold, and I was freaking out. I was like, oh my God, did I get this job or not? And then and then he's like, you got the job. Your start date is this. And then on my start date, he had to push it out another week. And I was like, oh.
So it was kind of hectic getting hired, but you got hired in, and I love that. So in a nutshell, he just had integrity. He was like, look, during the winter we ain't gonna make no money, but it's about the animals. You're like, you know what? This dude loves animals. I can get behind that.
Yep, exactly. And I didn't have any ill feelings towards invertebrates or snakes or anything. I never, like, I used to catch garter snakes growing up and toads and whatever I could catch, but I didn't love them. And now, my world is opened up, and now I have more creatures that I love. So it's really cool.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Now, give us a rundown, like a day for you. Ship your reptiles. You wake up. What's some of the stuff that you have to make sure is done while you're at work?
Oh God, my job's so all over the place. I have a big screen, and when I have so many windows open at the same time that are in every different direction. So since I do marketing, like we just came back from the aquatic show. So I've got a bunch of people to touch base with that I met at the show. We did a raffle. We have a consolation prize for those people that didn't win that I have to reach out to. We determined that we need to have a better flyer for aquatics because people don't know us as well in that realm. So Ashley and I were repeating ourselves so much, whereas if we could tell them that and hand them an informational flyer, it would resonate much better for them. So I have to create that. Then I had to talk to Chad to make sure that he got Mike's package in the mail on time. So Mike has his stuff for Monitor Fest, and make sure that he made it home because he didn't come home until today. And then I've got all my fires from the weekend, people that reached out to me that I have to get back to.
I love that. So you're busy.
Yeah, all over the board.
But you never.
And then have the next show to get ready for.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, okay, this is totally off topic, but I don't care. I'm saying it anyway. Y'all next T-shirt design. I got an idea.
All right.
You gonna do it if I tell you?
It depends.
It's on the back, because you know what I'm saying. It's you and Chad, y'all doing your thing. You his right hand, sometimes both of his hands. It should on the front. It should say, "We put snakes on planes." But then, because you got the blue hair, you remind me of Marge Simpson. You should put your face on Marge Simpson with the blue hair, and put Chad's face on Homer's, and y'all hand to hand.
Oh my God. I don't know if Chad would look good yellow.
I love it. That'd be I would love to get that shirt. That'd be such a cool shirt. Now, so how do I gotta ask you this? How do y'all handle this? Because y'all are a reptile shipping company. How do you handle when reptiles get loose in y'all facility? Has it ever happened to y'all?
It hasn't happened. Well, it has happened a little bit at our office, but we only have a few.
Right.
Um, there's been times that our bearded dragon has been running around, and I think Fernando got out once too, and Fernando's our Mexican beaded lizard, and he's huge. Um, so he's gotten out, and Chad just goes over and picks him up. The rest of us are a little shyer with Fernando. He can be intimidating because he's huge. Like his head's like that big.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a big boy. And like I went over and I like pet his back and he hissed at me and I jumped out of my skin.
Right. I love that. I love
So yeah, Chad just manhandles everything.
it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chad, man. Speaking of Chad, give me. Shout out to Reach Out Reptiles. Reach Out Reptiles said, coming from the hobby, what is your most or least favorite thing about reptile keeping or keepers? That's a good question.
So my least favorite thing about reptile keeping is what they eat. Because I used to have pet rats and I
Right.
loved my pet rats. So I know, and I've talked to Garrett about this, and he's like, "Yeah, try your snake on Reptilinks, or give them some chicken." And I haven't gotten to that point yet, but I'm definitely going to do that, and maybe even do it to supplement what he eats. And my most favorite thing about keeping reptiles is just they're so neat to watch. And there's so much for me to learn. I have just years of learning to go and so many cool species. I would say my least favorite is the rumor mill and the fact that we are all competitors, but you can be competitors and you can also be kind. You can be friends, and because all the ball python people, if they sell ball python to their buddy's going to be breeding, and now you're in competition with each other and you're still friends. I want everybody, can't we all just get along?
I love that.
Yeah.
Suzy, you're such a good person.
Oh, well, thank you.
I love it.
I try.
I love it. I love it. Now, back to the shipping. For you, what do you think the hardest part and the easiest part of your job is?
The hardest part is Chad. I have to work with Chad really closely, and Chad is a very busy individual. So getting time with him can be really difficult. So I work on one schedule and he works on another. Like, cause he's got so many irons in the fire. And so, what's really important to me that I want an answer on right now may not be as important to Chad because he's got, so many more things going on. So that can be hard. And I've learned to just settle down a little bit. I actually started doing paint by number. So when I get really frenzied, I just stop and I'll paint for 5 minutes and it calms me down. The best part or easiest part is the amount of latitude that I have at my job. And I'm kind of allowed to dabble in everything. And I'm never told, get in your lane. Because I have really good ideas, I think, so, I'll be like, hey, I don't like the wording on the website. I want it to be this. And he's like, oh, yeah, change that. So, and the way he put it, he's like, you have done everything at the company except for sign checks.
Man.
And yeah, I'm like, my tentacles are in everything. And I enjoy that. I love the diversity of my job.
How many years have you been there?
2.5.
2.5? Okay. I love that. I love that. And if you had to start it all over, would you restart it?
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
journey, the journey was just that fun. I love that.
Yeah. No, I'm very happy. This is
I
probably the most fun job that I've had.
it, and I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm jealous because every time I look at your Instagram, you somewhere cool. Like you were just
Oh
at
yeah.
Crutchfield Place the other day,
Yeah. Oh, that was
and it's like talk about
amazing.
that. Like what was it like getting to go to Crutchfield's place? And I just talk to actually a legend. Tom Crutchfield is a
Right.
legend. You were at his place, got to talk with him. How was that?
It was incredible because I had never met him. I had seen him briefly, but I didn't speak to him. So when we pulled up, I really, I didn't know what to expect. I saw that movie that was based on his life, about being jailed abroad, which was crazy. And I was like, this guy's crazy. But that was a long time ago. And so I really didn't know what to expect. And I mean, he is such a legend and he is such a sweetheart. And Stacy, his wife, is so amazing. And I I loved it. I can't wait to go back. I
Right,
had just the best time. He is just a wealth of knowledge. The way he keeps everything is so beautiful in these giant enclosures with all of this, naturalistic. I mean, it's outdoors. Stuff you can do in Florida that you can't do in Denver.
right.
And man, just knows so much, and all of his animals are so happy. It was really just an incredible experience.
Well, I brought it up because I seen it on your Instagram, and what I love is you're working at a reptile company, and when I see you at Crutchfield's place, you're holding, I think it was like a rock iguana or a rhino iguana,
Oh yeah.
and the look on your face, you're genuinely happy. Like I can look at your face and say, she is genuinely enjoying herself.
Oh
This
yeah.
is a, it's like this is a woman that loves animals. This is who I want to ship with.
Yeah, it's like I said, I didn't know that I would feel this strongly about reptiles or spiders or praying mantis, but I really, really do. I love them. And anything that you say I can hold, I'm gonna go and hold.
Right. So like I said, shout out to Tom Crutchfield, man. Um, just an awesome person in the hobby. Like I said, I love you because, like I said, you genuinely look like when I see that picture you were holding, you're like, I was like, she is genuinely happy, and I was like, I love that for her. So,
Yeah.
now, I got another hot seat question. We love you, Sark. We want to support you, Sark. So I like to ask people this question. I like to make up charity USARK wrestling matches. And it's just for fun, shits and giggles. I'm gonna give you a list of names, and I want you to tell me who do you think will win.
Okay.
And you're gonna be in some of them. So first match, charity wrestling match. Chad versus Garrett for Reach Out Reptiles. Who will
Oh,
win in a charity wrestling match? Who do you think?
I would say Chad, but I know Garrett and he will cheat. And he's wiry. Yeah, Garrett will cheat and Garrett will like run between his legs and climb up his back or something. So that would be a tough one. That would be a tough one. I'm
I
gonna
love it.
say that's a draw.
I love it. Okay. Now, the next one is you versus Emily from Snake Discovery.
She's got reach, but I think I've got the anger. I don't
um,
think Emily ever gets mad, so I don't think she would bring the heat. I would get heated up. Yeah.
I love
Plus,
it.
I've also, I'm a purple belt in Taekwondo and I kickbox and yeah.
All right, let's do another one. Antoine, High Desert Pythons versus Bomb Projects.
Oh, Kylan would win. That dude's got he Antoine couldn't get near him because Kylan would just grab him by the head and hold him away from him. right? Like he would be swinging, and Kylan would just be holding him way out here.
All right, last but not least, we're gonna end it with how about let's see. I want to get a good one. You versus who's a good one? Gobbles reptiles. I think that's what is her name. You know what I'm talking about. The lady that lives photographer.
Who?
She does like for photography, takes those pictures. Gobbles reptiles. What is her name? I can't think of her name.
Oh, I don't know.
No, let me think of a different. Let me think of a different. Let me think of a better one. Let me think of a better one. Oh, I
It
got
doesn't
one.
have to be a female.
I got one. Oh, Suzy said it don't have to be a female. Oh, I got one. Charity wrestling match. You versus Chad.
Oh boy. You know, I'd like to say that I would kick his ass, but no, he'll beat me. I I hurt my arm on loading up the big Pelican cases on Sunday,
Oh, did
and
you?
I didn't even do the hard part. So, but I would put my all into it. He would have some bruises, but he would beat me.
Oh, Mike's monitors is silly. He said charity wrestling match. Sean Bradley versus the Fat Man and Bionic Bailey. Who you think will win?
Oh,
Sean Bradley, Chris Eaton, or Bionic Benny?
I'm gonna say Chrissy.
Shout out to
I
Chris
think
Eaton. I think you're right.
yeah.
I think you're right, Garrett. I think her name is Brittany. Brittany, yeah, Brittany from you know Brittany from Gobbles Reptiles. Is it
Probably
Gobbles?
by face.
Oh, okay. Well, I think you will get her. I think you'll get her. So now we talked about shipping. We've talked about your animal collection. Some of the best parts of your job. We learned a little bit about you. Um, Now let's talk. We got to talk. Because like I said, I remember where I was at when Michael Jackson died. I remember where I was at when you know Kobe Bryant died, and now I can say I remember where I was at when Brian Barczyk died. So my question
Yeah.
to you is, Brian Barczyk was such a important part of our hobby. How did it hit you? Because I don't know if Chad or Brian had like a close relationship because they did business, or how often did you see Brian Barczyk? How did
You
you feel when
know,
he died?
yeah, I only met him once, and it was at Tinley, and I was supposed to go to his place after a Tinley with MJ from Trep Talk,
Yep.
but then he found out he was sick, and I was like, this is just probably not the right time for me to go. And it was really hard, just the whole it watching it all happen online was really hard for me. It was, watching a legend just share all the way up to his last moments was tough. I actually didn't see a lot of it because I have so much empathy that it would rip me up. So
Ain't that
yeah,
something?
it was hard.
Do you see yourself going to the Legacy Aquarium when it opens?
I would love to go.
I
Absolutely.
can't wait till it opens. I'm going.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to go.
You know, on the first day that it opens, I don't see a dry eye in the building.
Oh no. Yeah.
That's a Brian Barczyk, man. We miss you, man. Such an important part of the hobby, man.
Yeah.
Now, you being such a vital part of Ship Your Reptiles. Like, give me some of your what are some of your goals for Ship Your Reptiles? Like, what are some of the things that you like to see happen over the course of like the next 2 or 3 years?
Wow. I mean, we have so much infrastructure going right now with just bringing UPS on and then getting into Canada, and now we're about to be crossing the border of Canada as well. I want to see more growth for that, and then also our flora, ship your flora department needs to grow. I mean, we have so much that we can do. I see a need for more people in the future to grow these other departments. And since I do all the shows, the more shows and the more sections that we go to, I'm going to have to find somebody to be me for Flora or be me for, whatever else. We'll let Andy do the semen.
Is there it now? Having a company ship your flora, is there really a need for people to ship flowers like that? I would have never thought that.
Well, it's not just flowers, it's also tropical plants. And the plant industry has really blown up. It blew up with COVID, just like everything else did. And people really got into it. And there's some very expensive tropical plants that they can't get insured. So we have the self-funded insurance with Ship Your Reptiles and Ship Your Flora. So we're a good option for them. Plus we sell the shipping supplies for that.
Okay, I love that. Just y'all got so many times. You're like one company, but you're like 50 companies in one.
Yeah, we're
Y'all
looking into shipping whiskey as well.
Y'all are cheating.
Yeah.
One company is really 57 companies.
Right. Yeah. Chad owns so many Earls, like the Ship Your. He owns so many of them. So we're going to keep branching out.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm learning business. That is the key to business. Take one company and turn it into 57.
Yep. Yep.
I love it, man. Now, would you hitting so many expos, give me like a crazy reptile expo story that you have.
Well, there was that time that I drank too much vodka and bought a snake behind me. I was like, oh, what did I do? No, they're all pretty, they all have their really great moments. We usually try to take a client out to dinner, and that's really fun, because when you're at the show, you can't have a full conversation because there's so much going on. So for the last Tinley, we went out with Mike and his wife and Karen, who I absolutely love. Well, Mike too, but I love Karen. So we took them out, and it was really nice to be able to like slow down and talk and finish a thought. Whereas at the show, it's just go, go, go.
Right. I love that. And it's nice being able to just sit down, like you said, just be able to sit down with some of your customers, pick their brain. And not just when you're at dinner, you could pick their brain and see what else, some of the stuff, extra things that they need that you can do.
Yes. Yeah, and they have great ideas too. And they're like, have you considered this? And so then that will get us thinking, and some of those ideas come to fruition.
That's what's up. I love that. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I gotta ask, do you ship venomous?
No, we don't. We're not allowed. Yeah.
Oh, is it law like it's like a
FedEx
strict or something?
Yeah, FedEx won't allow it.
Oh, I see that.
So,
okay.
Yeah, you have to do those through Delta, I think, or the airlines.
Oh, so why they don't allow? Why did they make it just through Delta and nobody else can do it?
Well, it might be other airlines as well. I'm not sure. I'm not really familiar with venomous, but
okay.
yeah.
I was just wondering, just curious, because somebody wanted me to ask that. Ask them, do they do venomous? I needed to know.
Yeah, no, unfortunately.
Now, I got just for shits and giggles. What's everybody has a nickname for their boss. What's Chad's nickname when he's not around in the office?
I don't have a nickname for when he's not in the office. I have a bunch of little Chadisms though. Like I have a lot of different names, like his Chad Sprinkles, because I can try to get something done and talk to somebody and they're just like, no. And then Chad comes over and does a couple little Chad sprinkles, and they're like, whatever, okay, sounds good. Yeah, and I'm like, damn it, I said the same thing, but I just don't have his presence, you know. And then he was saying the other day, I if anything he says that I can pick on, I jump on, and then I don't let him forget. And we were talking about how phase packs work, and he was explaining, you know, that their phase packs are the same material that are in mattresses and pillows. And I was like, yeah, but I feel like those mattresses and pillows don't work all that well. And he's like, well, they work, but they can't keep up. He's like, I'm 235 pounds of hot man. So, you know, they don't hold up to me. I was like, oh, hot man, huh? You think you're hot, do you?
But
He's
Chad,
like, no, I mean temperature hot.
well, Chad, if you're watching this, or if you do watch this in the future, I want to give you a hard time and tell you that you didn't play football in a while. So if you had a charity wrestling match, Chad, I don't think you can get nobody, man, because you ain't played football in a while. I think,
he
I
just
think,
rode he just rode a mechanical shark,
did he?
right? A mechanical shark. You should have seen how great he fell when he fell off that thing. Like, he fell and he did the perfect tumble and then stood up, and I'm like, yeah, he knows how to fall.
I
That's
love it, man.
years of falling. Yeah.
I love it. Shout out to Chad, man. Such a good guy, such an amazing company, and he has brains. If he's hired you and made you his right hand man, he's obviously smart, right?
There you go.
Now, couple more questions, and then I get you out of here. Because, like I said, we go about an hour. It's always fun just to hang out for an hour, chat, see what you got going on. Jay Brewer, his TV show, good for the hobby, bad for the hobby, and not just that. My next question is, when you get your TV show, what will the name of it be?
Well, I haven't watched Jay's show. I heard about it, but I haven't actually watched it, and I haven't heard any fallback about it. So I can't really say. I had heard everybody say it's going to be the next Tiger King, and I haven't heard anything bad about it. I haven't had a chance to watch it, so I can't give an opinion. If I had a show,
If Miss
uh,
Suzy Lou had her own TV show, what would the name of it be?
dang, I don't know. Um, the punk rocker and the reptiles.
The punk rocker and I'd watch it. I like that.
There
watch
you
it.
go. Yeah.
I'd watch it. Well, Miss
It'll
Suzy,
have a great soundtrack. There'll be a lot of cute animals. Yeah.
you gave us an amazing hour. We'll definitely have to get you back for a round two because, like I said, I had fun. It was fun chatting with you.
I
It's
had
your
a
first
blast.
podcast.
Yeah.
How'd you like
It's
it?
my
Time
first
coming on.
solo podcast. I was in
How'd you
another
like it? Coming on
podcast.
talking.
What's that?
How did you enjoy it? How did you like it?
I loved it. I actually got a chance to speak, which the other podcast that I was on with Chad, and Chad answered all the questions, and I just sat there and nodded because he has all the answers, and you know he's used to this. So this has been fantastic. I'm very, very honored that you invited me on. So thank you.
Definitely. Like I said, we learned about you. We learned what your job is, some of the things you do, some of the things you enjoy, and we had fun while we did it. It was an amazing hour. Now, I like to end my shows. Before we end, can we do? I've had Brian Barczyk on. He'll tell you. He told me, he said, Derek, you can have the most amazing YouTube video, but if your thumbnail is terrible, nobody will watch it. So my question to you is, can we make a funny face for my thumbnail on the count of three? Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
One,
Right now?
2, 3. There it is. Hey, I appreciate you. Don't go nowhere, okay?
Okay.
I'm putting you backstage, okay?
Okay. Sounds good.
Such an amazing show. We had an amazing hour. We talked with Suzy. We learned about Ship Your Reptiles. We learned some of the things she do, some of the things she enjoys. We gave her some hot seat questions, and that's what it's about. It's about having fun and learning a little bit, and just having a place to where we can come and see what people in the reptile hobby are doing. Hey, Mike, I appreciate that, sir. Garrett, thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that. That's what it's about, man. A podcast, it can't be boring. I never want to have a boring podcast. I never just want to be, tell me about a ball python. How long is a ball python and what about, I want to have fun, but I want to learn. And that's what it's about. If your guest enjoys themselves, they the crowd enjoys themselves. So shout out to Suzy from Ship Your Reptiles. Ship Your Reptiles is the only way to go. So make sure y'all check them out. Shout out to Chad. Again, man, until next time, man, this is Big Reptile Talk, and we out of here. Everybody in the chat, I appreciate you. Make sure you please go check out all three of the sponsors. They support me, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't go nowhere. Everybody in the chat, y'all go somewhere. Not you, Suzy. I'm coming backstage. Until next time, man, this is Big Reptile Talk, and we out of here.
Big Reptile Talk.